We're here today on Lake Karapiro with Captain Asparagus, famous superhero of the nautical variety, and we're aboard an 8-metre Allenco. It's a boat, it's bound for Sapolo Harbour in the Solomon Islands, a destination that the good captain loves to spend plenty of time fishing. We're going to walk you through the boat now, and we're going to talk about some of the features that Captain Asparagus has had instituted into this boat to make it more fishable for the situation he's in up there. It's all yours, Captain. Take us away.
Okay. Most of the fishing up in the Solomons is poppering, using lures out the front of the boat. So the main fishing area in this boat is the foredeck. So we've got a big raised foredeck here. Nice little step up so you can get up here easily. The anchor storage, we don't actually have any anchor storage because they never anchor up there. It's either 3 feet deep and you've got a mooring line or an anchor rope, just a bow line, or it's 200 metres and you can't be bothered. So it's just a rope storage for when you're mooring it at night at the front. We've got this tread plate here, so you can step on and off the boat easily when we come into the side of river banks and what have you, because quite often you fish up jungle rivers and all that sort of stuff. Bow rails, square box section, because it's a little bit stronger than round section and it looks a heck of a lot better. We've had the bow rails canted inwards, so when you're standing there, you're actually braced, and when fishing you're braced there. A normal flared bow rail would be out here, and if you were to try and use it, you'd be on your way over the side already. And also, by having it flared in or canted in like this, when you're winding a reel, the reel is on the outside, it's not smashing the handle or your bow arms or anything against the rails. So that's that.
And it's set up specifically, as you say, for popper fishing.
Yes.
And we've got this seat here right in the centre of the foredeck or the casting platform. And as we move around here, you'll see there's another seat forward facing, and there's this other little in front of the helm station here. This little convenient area here. It's got drink holders and rod holders. What's the purpose, Captain Asparagus, for this layout?
For this layout, it's because you're casting at bait fish that right here. You've fished those ones. It's time to move on to the next patch, which will be 200-300 metres away. Rather than having to walk to the back of the boat, you just sit down right here and just off you go. You cruise off. This is casting position number 1 here. Casting position number 2 is down here, so that you have your second fisherman can be working out of here. And again, you've got a seat right there so that you don't have to go to the back of the boat. It just makes it very convenient.
And the third casting position is a stern there, isn't it?
Yeah, you can go right down the stern and cast right there.
We've now stepped down to the central part of the vessel underneath the canopy, and it's a really practical space for a number of reasons, and these are all bits and pieces that Captain Asparagus has decided that he needs on this boat. Tell us a little bit about the features.
Well, I went for a side console rather than centre console, because any movement through the boat is up the centre line, so it's the most stable and you don't have to shuffle around a console. All your cabling curls naturally around, you don't have to worry about cabling and what have you for a centre console. We have the poles set where they are, so you've got plenty of shoulder room when you're walking through, and if you do have to follow a fish around, it's easy to take your rod around. If they were out there, you have to reach too hard, and if they were in here, you'd have to go like this. We've got a raised helm station, so that the driver can actually see a little bit better, forward visibility. Up in the islands, you have to go around bommies and over shallow reef quite a lot, so that's quite important. We've got a decent electronics package, the Simrad NSS 9 Evo 2. It has all your engine controls, and it's got structure scan and ordinary chirp transducers for fish finding, and a standard GPS chart. We've gone for analog tacho and trim tilt, because electronics can fail, and you don't need to know your speed, but you need to know what your revs are, and you also want to know what your trim and tilt is up there. Electronics tend to die fairly frequently in the Solomons because it's so hot, so super saline and humid. Right, we've got a VHF, a little bit of lighting here and there. Just got your twin engine mounts, all that sort of stuff. This is my chair. Driver, my chair. For facing forwards when you're going from place to place, you've got plenty of places to put your drinks and bits and pieces and what have you. Lots of storage for stuff. You need storage for stuff, and so all that goes in there, underneath there. When you're bottom fishing would be the second most common way of or form of fishing up there. You're frequently fishing in around about 200 metres of water for all sorts of fish, and that's that's where you sit for that. Right through the middle there, and again more flat storage for sinkers and clippers and lip grips and all that sort of stuff. Here we have storage for tackle boxes, so they sit on top of that. Underneath there, smaller tackle boxes, bits and pieces of stuff, and underneath there will be your life jackets and what have you.
We're now at what most people would consider the business end of the boat, but in this case it's really a secondary fishing platform, because as Captain Asparagus pointed out earlier, this is a casting boat. It's predominantly used for fishing surface, lures and jigging, but there are some number of interesting features that we've got at the back end, and talk us through it, Captain.
Okay. At the back, in the islands you don't want to have an underfloor fuel tank, because it just gets water in it and it's hopeless. So we have to run tote tanks. The tote tanks fit underneath the aft seats, right there. The spare tote tanks we can fit underneath the casting deck. So we have enough room for 6 tote tanks on the boat, which gives us all the fuel you ever need. Again, just more handy storage for bits and pieces, bottle holders, all that sort of stuff. Your rod holders just set out as you'd have for a normal boat, canted out, all that sort of stuff for trolling. A lot of the trolling up there you'll be doing along the rim reef, where it's really as flat as this lake, and so you'll be trolling hard minnows for mackerel and all sorts of stuff, as well as going out to the fads. Got your twin motors, 2 4-strokes, nice new Suzies.
And why did you choose the Suzuki's, Stu?
Because they're good. They're good, they're reliable. For the size of motor, 90 horse is very good. I like them. I have Suzuki on my big Challenger up at Wirianga, 250, and I've got 60s on there's 2 60s on the resort boats up in the Solomons already, and they've been flawless.
Oh, well, look, thank you very much, and I look forward one day to joining you aboard the good ship and testing it in situ. Thank you very much.